you can type a message. Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, who is this?
Hello. Vijay, this is Satish.
Okay. Okay, so I'll be starting today's class. So in today's class, we are going to understand a little bit more in detail about OData gateway services. First, we'll be starting with SAP NetWeaver Gateway OData ABAP services. So we'll understand a little bit in detail about this theoretically first. Then in the coming classes, we'll try to implement practically. Can you hear me properly now? Can you one of you confirm? Okay.
Yes, Vijay.
Okay. Yeah, so as far as SAP NetWeaver Gateway OData services are concerned, you need to understand one basic diagram. So let me start with a diagram here. So yesterday I was talking about front-end technologies like SAP UI5 and SAP Fiori, and most importantly SAP UI5, SAP Fiori, they are mainly for designing web applications connecting to SAP systems. By using UI5 and Fiori, we are going to develop web applications for sending and receiving the data. For sending and receiving the data, we are going to develop web applications by using UI5 and Fiori. So, but here what we do is we try to make use of SAP NetWeaver Gateway Server. Under this, we are going to develop OData ABAP services by implementing database operations. By implementing database operations. At OData level, this is what we are going to do. And most importantly, I can say your SAP NetWeaver Gateway Server will connect to our backend systems like SAP ECC, or it can be SAP CRM, or SAP SRM, or SAP HANA, whatever. So there can be any backend system like this. So generally, technically, we consider SAP UI5 and Fiori, these are front-end applications. These are front-end applications. UI5 and Fiori, these are front-end applications here, and your SAP NetWeaver Gateway is considered as a hub system here. In technical words, SAP NetWeaver Gateway is considered as hub system, and these are SAP backend systems. So these are the words better to notice. So what we are going to do is, first we are going to develop OData services here, and it will connect to a backend system like ECC, CRM, SRM, and HANA systems also, and you can also connect to SCM system here. And these OData ABAP services we are going to consume from a UI5 or a Fiori application here. We are going to consume UI5, we are going to consume OData ABAP services from UI5 as well as Fiori applications. So this is what we have understood in the yesterday's class.
Hello.
But to go in detail, I can say OData services which
Hello?
runs on gateway server. Hello? Yeah, who is this? Okay. So OData ABAP services which runs on gateway server will respond in two different formats. SAP NetWeaver gateway server will try to send the data, and SAP NetWeaver gateway server can receive the data in two different formats. By using OData ABAP services, your NetWeaver gateway server is capable of sending the data and it is capable of receiving the data, and these two things will be done by using two formats here. One is XML format, another is a JSON format here. So this is taken care by server. We don't write JSON coding, we don't write XML code like that. This is taken care by server itself for sending and receiving the data. That is the responsibility of a NetWeaver gateway server here. When you send a request, your NetWeaver gateway server will send and receive the data in two different formats, and these two different formats, XML and JSON formats, are taken care by server automatically, and these two are independent of front-end applications. These are independent of front-end applications here. Front-end application can be anything, but our ABAP services can be used to perform database operations. A front-end application can be any application. By using these XML and JSON formats, our ABAP services will perform database operations here. So what I mean to say is, SAP NetWeaver gateway server will send or receive the data. It can send or receive data in two formats. One is an XML format, second one is like JSON format. And most importantly, I can say these two formats, are independent of your front-end applications. These two formats are independent of front-end applications. So independent, that is important here. And I can say this is the responsibility of server. We don't write XML format, we don't write JSON format here. Server will internally make use of these two formats. So that is the point. And most importantly, I can say your XML format looks like this. So when server is try to mute yourself. Please try to mute your from your side so that we can run this class smoothly. So as far as XML format is concerned, the server will try to populate the records in XML format in this manner, like there will be a begin tag and there will be a closing tag, and there can be a begin tag and there can be a closing tag. So server will do all these things, you need not worry. And for example, salary is one of the field, and for that field there will be a closing tag. So closing tag, the record values will be provided by the server. Between begin tag and closing tag, server will provide the record values. For example, 1001, Ajay, and something like 30,000. So that's a record value. Similarly, if you want to populate second record, server will populate second record in the same format, but values will change. Values will change. Third record also will be populated by server, something like this. And for example, fourth record, so it looks like this. So when server is responding, I mean to say gateway server. So when gateway server is responding to front-end applications, your gateway server will respond in one of the format as XML format is how it looks like. So I mean to say here it looks like this. So this is a format that is taken care by SAP NetWeaver Gateway Server. Okay, and these are the record values. These are the record values. First record, second record, then third and fourth, etc., etc. But what I can say is, as a front-end developer, if you're developing a UI5 or Fiori application at front-end level, you don't see anything like in XML. We see the data in a normal table format. You can display data in table or a graph or whatever format you want, or a drop-down. It can be drop-down or radio button group, etc. So front-end screens will be like your normal application. So whatever data that comes from gateway server will be displayed in a graph or a table, drop-down, checkbox, whatever. And it will be like this. So whatever records come from gateway server, it looks like this. So in the front end, we can display it in a normal table format. So you can see it like this. So 1004, something like Satish. So it looks like this. So I mean to say at front-end level, data can be in a table format. So users can see the data in a normal table manner. Okay, so that means this is part of our SAP UI5 and Fiori front-end part. So I mean to say the data transfer can happen between your front-end UI5 Fiori application and gateway server, but in the front-end part, definitely the records will be displayed in normal table, graph, drop-down, whatever, whichever screen elements we have. So I mean to say gateway server is going to send or receive the data in XML format, and this is how it looks like. Okay, so front end part remains same. We are going to use our screen elements. We are going to use screen elements for displaying the data. So this is one of the format which is understood by any front end application which is available right now. So when data comes in XML format, a UI5 application can understand that, and Fiori application can understand that, and third-party applications like a Java, .NET, PHP applications also can understand this XML format for displaying the records. So that's the reason why we consider this format as independent format here, independent of front end. Because whenever data comes in XML, that XML data can be understood by any front-end application. It need not be UI5 or Fiori. It can be any third-party application as well. Okay, so this is one of the format that is supported by our OData services here. This is one of the formats supported by our OData services here. So you can write ABAP code, but server will respond in XML format. You write your database operations in ABAP, but server will respond in XML format for sending and receiving. So, but how JSON format looks like, let us understand that. In case of try to mute your audio so that you can hear me properly. In case of XML format, the record values are populated with begin tag and end tag. Just notice that they are populated within begin tag and end tag. But in front end, end users can access those records in general formats like table or a graph or a drop down, etc., etc., etc. We are going to understand these things in the coming classes. Now, there is one more format supported by our SAP NetWeaver Gateway Server, that is nothing but a JSON format. So, in case of JSON format, this is one of the new format, and the record values are displayed in JSON format with a flower bracket here. Within flower bracket, there will be a field name, employee ID colon some value 1001, comma, you can have next field name colon some value, and you can use comma, and salary is a third field colon some value, something like that. And this story continues here. You can copy that. So it looks like this for n number of records. 1002, one second. So this is how the data is represented. 1003, something like Suman, and 1004, Satish, something like 60,000. So this is how our NetWeaver Gateway Server will respond and this is how the data is sent to front end. Let me go with a diagram. So it looks like this. Okay, so, but in case of front end, there won't be any change. In case of front end, you can use a table or a graph, or you can use like a drop down. You can use a drop down, or you can use a radio button. So definitely screen designing will be very interesting in UI5 and Fiori. So the data will be represented in this manner. Just let me complete this pattern. So it looks like this. And one last record as far as this JSON format is concerned, so you can have in this manner. So front-end wise, the data is represented in a normal table format, which everyone is aware of. It looks like this. So whatever data you get, you can display in your normal approach. You can send or receive data in this manner. So this is in case of SAP, UI5 or Fiori or whatever, etc. So these are the two formats supported by our gateway server. So you can easily develop your front-end applications for displaying those records. So this is how it looks like. So I mean to say, JSON format, in case of JSON format, what is happening is, so record values are represented with field name, colon, record value. That is the format it will try to use. Server will try to utilize this, you need not worry. So it will use field name, then colon, some record value. Okay, and in case of front end or UI5 or Fiori, the record values can be displayed in general formats. Server may respond in any format, but in the front end, you can display those values in general formats like normal table, or it can be a drop down or a graph, whatever. So this is one thing that you need to understand. Server may give you a XML format, or server may give you JSON format. That also we can specify which format you want, so that we are going to specify in our coding. So accordingly, server will respond, and those record values can be displayed in general formats like table, graph, etc. So these are the two things that should be in your mind as far as gateway is concerned. It looks like this. And here you can see, let us write a note under OData ABAP services. We use like ABAP coding only for handling database operations. Please notice that. Only for database operations, we use ABAP coding under OData services. But for screen designing, we use our SAP UI5 syntaxes and Fiori syntaxes here. Database operations will be in terms of ABAP code, but screen designing will be in terms of UI5 and Fiori syntaxes. So these are the two things that you need to focus. Let me repeat, this is very important. If anyone is new in this class, this is very important. Only database operations will be in terms of ABAP coding, but screen designing will be in terms of a new syntaxes with respect to UI5 as well as Fiori. So what are those syntaxes we are going to understand in the coming classes? Okay? And the T code for OData ABAP development, and you can say entity set is something like an internal table. So these three are very important words for developing OData services. So I hope you are understanding easily with these diagrams. So let me write a simple note before I go for next option. So entity is like to hold single record, and entity set to hold multiple records or to hold collection of records. So these are the three important terms which are important in developing OData services. And not only that, so not only these three important terms, you can see here, let me try to connect to server once. Let me check. So there is a server here. So this is our ECC server, which contains all options related to SAP NetWeaver Gateway also. So under this particular server, we are going to use a T code like SEGW. SEGW is a T code, so you can type some here on top, and it opens a NetWeaver Gateway Service Builder, and this is the area where we develop our OData service. So this is a T code where we develop our OData services here. But we are going to use like an Eclipse here. There is a tool like Eclipse, and Eclipse is one of the tools used for developing UI5 Fiori applications. Is one of the tools used for developing UI5 and Fiori applications here. So this is a tool here, and inside this particular tool, you will get some SAP UI5 related plugins. Under this particular tool, you will get some SAP UI5 plugins here. You can see this. Just let me talk about this. So it's an Eclipse. Under Eclipse, you can find SAP UI5 plugins here. Anyone from any programming background can develop easily UI5 and Fiori applications by using these plugins. So that should be, I'll be telling you how to install Eclipse and how to add these plugins. I'll be covering as part of our course. But this is one of the tools used for UI5 and Fiori development. And you can see the previous screen. So this is the option used for OData service development. So this is for OData service development here. Okay. So these are the two important things. And there is one more tool that I'll be explaining when I go for theory part. When we go for theory part, we will be using like the third one, that is Web IDE. So overall, in our course, we are going to use these things, T codes and tools. That is like SEGW, Service Builder for OData ABAP development. And we are going to use Eclipse for SAP UI5 and Fiori applications here. And we are going to use SAP Web IDE, and that is also for SAP UI5 and Fiori application development. So these are the three important things. Of course, in the coming concepts, we may be using some more options, but these are the main options which we need to take care. And most importantly, I can say, so this is how we are going to proceed in the coming classes. Okay? But I can say Eclipse is more suitable. Eclipse is more suitable for custom UI5 development. Eclipse with SAP UI5 plugins or Eclipse is most suitable for custom SAP UI5 development. It is more suitable for custom UI5 development. Of course, you can develop Fiori applications also, but Eclipse is not that comfortable. Eclipse, you have to use it for custom UI5 development. As far as my experience and as far as general methodology is concerned, we are going to use Eclipse mostly for custom UI5 development. And we are going to use SAP Web IDE, and that SAP Web IDE is most suitable for, it is most suitable for enhancing and customizing standard Fiori applications here. So in this way, we are going to use both the tools. Of course, SEGW, there is no alternative, we use for OData service development. This is compulsory. So this is the recommendation so that you can easily develop and deploy applications without any problem. This is just a recommendation. And you can see here, so first of all, what we are going to do is in our course syllabus, first what we are going to do is we are going to develop, one second. Rakshit, please try to mute yourself. Rakshit and Tanmay, please try to mute yourself so that we can run the class smoothly. So as part of our course syllabus, we are going to start with OData service development. That is the first thing. And mostly we'll be using ABAP services. The second thing is we are going to understand HTML, CSS scripting. HTML, CSS scripting, etc. from the scratch level. And the third one is we are going to develop SAP UI5 custom applications. And the fourth thing is SAP Fiori customization and enhancement. So this is our course syllabus, so you can proceed like this. Okay, and so let me come back to OData web service development. So in OData service development, you can see here, this is our screen, and in this screen what we can do is we can develop OData services by creating a project here. You can see there is an option like create project. So you can give some name, for example, Z online project, something like 2. You can give some name. You can give some name. And as far as OData services projects are concerned, you have to save it in package so that you can transport your objects. Always save it in a package so that you can transport your objects. But for time's sake, I'm just using local object. And don't worry, I'll be giving the step-by-step procedure when we go into the practical part. So you can see there is a project and that contains some 4 main folders here. It contains 4 main folders like data model, service implementation, runtime artifacts, and service maintenance. These are the 4 options we have. Okay, so let me write a simple note. Contains mainly first one, that is data model. Second one, service implementation. And third one, service maintenance. And fourth one, runtime artifacts here. So we have 4 main options. One is data model, second one is service implementation, third one is service maintenance, and fourth one is runtime artifacts. So the OData service development totally revolves around these 4 main options. And I'll be explaining one by one. First, let me start with runtime artifacts here. So as far as runtime artifacts are concerned, there are 6 options under runtime artifacts. And the purpose of runtime artifacts is to implement the service and to execute the service. There will be some options in this folder for implementing the service, and some options will be available to execute the service. Something like these runtime artifacts are responsible for implementing the service and executing the service. So let me underline this: implementation part and execution part. So the main purpose of runtime artifacts is to implement the service. As a developer, you can implement that and you can execute that service. So service internally will use some options. So I can say as part of these runtime artifacts, there will be 6 options. Just let me highlight those things. In detail, we are going to understand in the coming classes. So the first option is, I can say _MDL. That technically we call it as a registered model. MDL, that is for registered model. And the second option in this folder is SRV. SRV, that is nothing but technically we call it as registered service. Registered service. And third one we call it as MPC. That is nothing but a model provider class. Don't worry, in detail we are going to understand in the coming examples when we go for practical part, okay? So as of now, just I'm introducing the terminology. And the fourth option here is something like MPC underscore EXT. That is nothing but model provider extension class. MPC EXT, that is nothing but model provider extension class. And the fifth option is DPC, that is nothing but data provider extension class, data provider class. DPC, it is data provider class. And sixth one is DPC extension. Sixth one is DPC extension. So that is nothing but data provider extension class. So these are the 6 options that are generally used for implementing OData service and for executing that OData service. So all these 6 options will play a vital role under runtime artifacts in order to implement our functionality and in order to execute that functionality. So these are the things that you need to notice. And what I'll do is I'll stop for today and I'll be explaining in detail about all these things in the coming classes. In detail, we are going to understand in the coming classes. So at this point, I'm going to stop here. And if you have any doubts, you can ask me now, but I will call one by one. There are many people, so it becomes mess here. So I'll try to come one by one. Let me come from the bottom today. And Venu Venkat.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Venkat here.
Okay.
You told me that you told us that recommendations for using this Eclipse and all those stuff, right? So is that other way also? I mean, as you said, it's only a recommendation. So there are other ways to develop as well.
Other ways means you can use this one. Other ways means here you can say you can use Eclipse also for Fiori, but recommend UI5.
Okay.
Eclipse is recommended for UI5, but other ways you can also develop Fiori, but as a developer you will feel very difficult in that case. So for Fiori what we do is the recommended for Fiori is WebID. So the other way is you can also develop UI5 in WebID. That is the other way.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Then what about others? Okay, let me come one by one. Vasant, can you hear me? Okay, then Tina. If you don't have any doubt, you can just say no. And Tanmay. Okay, then Okay, no doubts then. Okay, then Swati. Can you hear me? And then Swadin. Okay, Shushil Kumar, you can unmute yourself. You can unmute from your mission and you can speak now. If you have any doubt, you can ask me.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
What's your name? Hello? Yeah, what's your doubt?
Sir, can you open the diagram, sir, for 1 second? That not diagram, not this one. Yeah, this one, sir. Actually, in SAP,
Okay.
there will be corresponding actions or all the so suppose if there is an action, there should be somewhat code written in that, right?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, you can speak. You can complete your question.
Yeah. My question is, OData services is used for handling only for database operation. But
Yes.
coming to net gateway server is only designed for screen purpose. Screen we have
No.
actions, right?
NetWeaver Gateway is not for screen designing. NetWeaver Gateway is a component for running your database operations.
Okay.
Screen designing, screens, everything will run at client side using UI5 and Fiori. Within the browser itself, your screens will be loaded and the coding related to screens also will be executed within the browser itself.
Okay. But when this net gateway server comes into picture?
NetWeaver Gateway Server will handle the request only if there is a database related functionality.
Okay.
We are going to, in the front end, we are going to consume OData service. So whenever OData service line is executed, then database operation will be executed in the gateway server. For remaining things, server will not come into picture. Okay. Yeah, then. Yeah, let me come one by one. Who else? Yeah, Imran. Let me come to him. Yeah, Imran, you can now.
Sure. Hi, Vijay. Thanks for your wonderful presentation. I have a couple of questions regarding the course structure. I don't know if it is the right forum to ask you, or you are only looking for the questions which were specific to today's lecture and then want to come back to me.
If you have any doubts related to today's lecture or yesterday's one, you can ask me, no problem.
No, this is my first session, so I just wanted to know the course structure and what are the topics which you would like to cover. Is that okay if I can ask now?
Yes, no problem. Here you can say course-wise, these are the main 4 topics that will be covered in our course.
So just to start with ABAP OData, data modeling, I think you would you also see, I got to know that there's a feature where you need not do any ABAP coding, but you could use an Eclipse plugin where you could do the data modeling and the Eclipse engine itself would create OData service for you. Would you be also covering that topics, or is it more conventional?
Data modeling means definitely without, how can you provide your database table in data modeling? Data modeling is just like, it is like a template here. But we don't use the template in real time to run our services. Definitely some code should be executed in SEGW, otherwise it won't work.
Yeah, exactly. But Eclipse engine, I mean, in Eclipse also there are certain plugins which would do that code for you, right? You can just do. Okay.
In OData services, what we do is we mention the fields, but those fields are going to get the data via your SEGW related runtime artifacts itself.
Okay. Perfect. And the next topic which I would be interested in is with SAP UI5. Would you also cover modification of standard objects, and what are the controls which you would be taking up in this UI5 session?
Exactly. So we are going to enhance the standard screens as far as Fiori is concerned, because Fiori applications are standard screens. So we are going to customize and enhance those applications and along with configurations.
Okay, okay. So you would also help us in understanding how we would have to set up uh, Fiori applications if you are trying to implement this for your at your customer site and stuff like that. You would go through that.
Exactly, yes. So configurations, customization, enhancement, so everything will be covered as part of our syllabus.
Yeah, in
And how
SAP
to, yeah.
UI5, what would be the controls where you would be demoing in?
We will be using almost all the controls, almost all important controls will be using.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that answers my question. And one last thing is, how long is the session? As in, what is the duration of this whole course?
It will be approximately 60 days, almost like 2 months it will take to
Okay.
complete these sessions.
Okay, perfect. And it would be on everyday basis, right?
Monday to Friday, it
Okay.
will be.
Okay, for 1 hour. And it would be almost on the same time, right?
Exactly, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. every day, Monday to
Okay.
Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, only reason I'm asking is I am not in India, so it would be a little tough for me to accommodate my schedule. So yeah, I
No
would really
problem.
appreciate.
No problem. This is the only timing we have. We don't have any other timing. This is the only timing.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, thanks. Thanks,
Yeah.
thanks, Vijay.
Then what about
Yes,
others?
Vijay, this is Arjun.
Okay.
Hello, Vijay, can you hear me?
Yes.
As discussed about the O data, right? There is a receiver and the sender also. You mean to say it should be like an XI?
No, no, no. XI is totally different. In XI, what happens is there will be data transfer from system to system,
Okay.
right? But here it is not like that. The data transfer take place between screen and the system.
Screen and the
So,
system. Okay.
in our XI or PI, what happens is there will be a system 1 and there will be a system 2. Generally, data transfer will take place between system to system.
Okay.
But in case of our technology, from system the data will transfer to screen or screen to the system. That is what happens.
Okay.
In our case, in our UI5 or Fiori or whatever, OData, whatever.
I mean, in normal SAP app, we have used the GUI. Okay, GUI is the front end.
Exactly.
Okay, there we can give the request and LUW means inside background work processes take the request and send the respond, right?
Yes, yes.
Like that. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, but here what we do is we don't use XI related activities. That is the point. We perform database operations, mainly CRUD operations, and we can also download a file, but it will happen between a screen and a system always, not between system to system.
Okay. Okay. For example, is there any other OData services apart from this SAP?
Yes, we have several things. We are going to use OData external services also in our course.
Okay,
We are
third party OData.
OData external third-party services, and we can also use OData HANA services here, and we can use OData ABAP services. So all these things will be covered when we consume. As far as consuming is concerned, all the services I'll explain. How to consume external service, how to consume HANA service, how to consume ABAP service, and how to develop ABAP services.
Okay. Okay. What is the scope of means present market and UI5 and Fiori? And as a layman language, how can I say whether it is good for as a ABAP or whether it is good for a Java guy? What is the prerequisite for this?
So here, this particular course has nothing to do with any Java line. So SAP UI5 or a Fiori or like OData, all these three things has nothing to do with any Java. It's no way related to Java here. Please notice that.
Okay.
It's not at all related to Java, but to some extent it is related to HTML, and CSS and scripting only. Only to this extent we use. We don't use complete Java coding, or we don't use EJB, J2EE. All those things will not come into picture, and they are not nowhere related to this technology.
Okay, fine.
Got my point. So UI5 theory OData, it's mainly related to HTML, CSS scripting, and core app. That's it.
Okay, okay. One more final question is UFI and Fiori. As actually, I am the Web Pro consultant. Okay.
Okay.
This is also UI-based technology. Web Pro also UI-based. What is the difference between the UFI and Web Pro side?
Are you absent yesterday?
Yes, yes, actually.
Yesterday I covered that point. What are the difference between a normal ABAP and UI5, and difference between WebDimpro and something like UI5. I'll send the yesterday's note file. You can just go through that. You can get some clarity.
Okay, okay, fine. I'll do it.
Yeah, right. Then.
Okay, fine, Vijay. Thank you.
Hi Vijay, this is Bhavana here. Most of my questions as Imran has asked you, but I have one question regarding the session. If at all I miss a class, do I get any recording for that day?
Yeah, we will try to send the recording, but I don't think recording will be that useful. You can go through just a note file and the diagrams will help you. And if you are unable to understand, then we'll send the recording, but not for all the classes.
No, not for all the classes. Say suppose I'm in CST time zone, and sometimes at this time I may go into some meeting, and I will not able to attend the session. So if at all I need to attend the session, I mean, I need some recordings, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, that will help us to understand your flow, and we can, if at all we miss any class, we can attend. I mean, we can attend that recording, and then we can follow up on the next session.
Exactly. So what I'll do is I'll try to send the missing classes related files. Okay.
So do I need to specify it before that I may not attend today's class, or I mean I can mail you later?
Yeah, you can mail later. No problem.
Okay. And last question is, can you please send us the details of how to pay the fee structure? I mean, there's
I'll send
detail.
it after completing tomorrow's class. So I'll just send a mail to everyone. So those who are interested, then we'll proceed further. Okay. I'll send a mail later. Okay. After two more classes.
Yeah. Thanks, Vijay. The class is very helpful, and thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. Then what about
hi, Vijay. Shilpa is here. I've got few queries. Like based on this XML or JSON format, will there be any difference in the web browser? Means, will the elements be any browser dependency will be there that probably in Opera, the elements are table is properly viewed, and in some other browser it is not. Will there be any browser dependency for the elements?
Yeah. So 99%, these all the controls are browser independent. All the controls which we have in UI5 and Fiori, they are almost 99%, they are like browser independent. You need not worry about whether this screen element works in Opera, Google Chrome, or like that. So you can, without thinking about all those issues, you can directly straight away use any control, and that works on any browser because it is browser independent.
Okay, and my next question is, apart from the tags being used in JSON and XML, which is more frequently used format, and why?
Like here you can see JSON is more lightweight. It is like more lightweight, but we don't use any code like that. What we do is we use true or we use false from the front end. So based on that, server will respond. So
yeah, right.
JSON
like you told that we use.
So when we use a true value, then it will use something like XML format, and if you use false, then it may use JSON format. So we just provide a Boolean value, true or false. Depending upon that, server will respond.
Okay. And my last question is,
your voice breaking. Can you just speak a little bit slow?
Using
Yeah.
Yeah. My last question is the Eclipse tool which is being used. Is there any version dependency for this UI5 plugin or not?
For Eclipse, you mean to say? Eclipse, you can use anyone. Eclipse Juno, Eclipse Kepler. You can use Eclipse like Kepler, Juno,
Okay.
Luna. You can use anything. We have the plugins for each and every option.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Thank you.
Then what about others?
Vijay.
Yeah. Let me give chance to others. Yeah. Srikant, you have any doubt?
Yeah. Hi, Vijay sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Actually, my question is, in a front-end system, we will do the validations also, right? So,
Yes.
if I want to validate the plant from T001 table, then how we can do that is SAP table now, how we can write in
What you can do is, in that situation, you can send that value, whatever value you want to validate. From the front end, you send the value to OData service. In OData service level, you can validate that through ABAP coding.
Okay.
Validations need not be always in the front end. You can have validation at OData service level also. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. Then,
Thank you. Yes.
then
Yeah.
what about others?
Hi Vijay, Mohan here.
Yeah, Mohan.
Okay, I have a couple of questions. Okay, the first one is how that normal UI5 development is different from HANA. Is it just only in terms of consuming the HANA related OData services, or is there any significant
HANA
difference
is
between
totally different, right?
UI5?
So HANA programming is totally different. HANA syntaxes, they are totally different. But what we do is, whatever the data available in HANA, we can access from UI5 and Fiori. That is the point.
But for us, whether it's a HANA or ECC or whatever it is, the UI syntax still remains the same, right?
Exactly. The UI5 part remains same, irrespective of your service and irrespective of your backend system.
Okay, that's number one. And number two is, I know that there are a couple of plugins are available for Eclipse like Kepler, Juno, Luna.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what would be the significant difference, and then which one to be used for perfect UI5 development?
No, you can use like most preferable is like Juno. So that is almost like we don't have any problems in Juno. So we are trying to use that Juno in most of the application development.
Okay, and then the last one, can you just show me the JSON format that you quoted in the notepad?
Yeah. Hello? Yeah, you can see my screen now.
I think it, yes, I think in this JSON format, we should have a comma after the flower, each and every flower basis, right?
Exactly, yes, but I don't think too in detail. So when we go for, because we don't write the code, this is just like to give an idea. Hello?
Okay, thanks.
This is just to give an idea. I wrote this format, but generally we have comma separator for the end of each and every record. Yeah, then
Okay,
what
thanks,
about others? Yeah, thank you. Then let me check.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
who is this? Yeah, Srinivas.
I'm Praveen.
Yeah, Praveen.
Do we write code in UI5
Yes,
for
of course.
UI5 front-end development?
Yes, we are going to write. We are going to write coding by using UI5 syntaxes. We have some special. We have some special syntaxes. We have coding part and we have drag and drop options also in Web IDE.
Okay.
We have both coding as well as drag and drop.
Okay.
Yeah. Then.
Okay. Thanks. Hi Vijay sir.
Yeah. Who is this?
Hi Vijay, I want to have a doubt. Actually, by using SAP River, we can develop an end-to-end application for SAP UI5.
Yes, yes, definitely.
So, why you are covering the SAP River too?
SAP River is nothing but SAP Web IDE. SAP River IDE is nothing but SAP Web IDE. That is the old name.
Okay.
You're getting my point. Web IDE is a new name. Old name for that same tool is River IDE.
Okay.
They renamed from River IDE to Web IDE.
Okay.
Okay, then, yeah. What about others?
Yeah, hi Vijay.
Vijay, hi. Hello.
Yeah, Murthy.
Hi Vijay, this is Murthy. And I just want to know, what are the basic technologies we should learn and be thorough before we start the class?
Just
And
core
before
ABAP
we
fundamentals. I covered that point yesterday. So you need to have some, if you have core ABAP fundamentals, then you will be comfortable in all these three things. If you are having core ABAP fundamentals, then by the end of the course, you'll be good at all these four options. If you're not good at ABAP, then you can concentrate on the remaining three options.
Okay. And what about, JSON, jQuery, UEFI, and HTML5, these courses?
This HTML5, CSS, those things will be covered as part of our syllabus itself.
Okay. And my question, second question is, is the modeling something like what we have seen in WebDean Pro, like, the model which will be there, which we can consume the data from the model?
Exactly. It is similar to that, but here we have to write the code while consuming. In WebDean Pro, Java, what happens is just with wizard we can consume, but in UI5 we have to write 2 lines code to do that.
Okay, fine. Just by going forward, we may come to know about that, isn't it?
Exactly, definitely. So in detail, you'll understand all these 4 categories, which companies are expecting and which you have to do it in real time.
Okay, thank you. And my last question is it suggestible to go with the Web IDE or with the Eclipse in the real time?
No, I am going to cover both the things. So whichever you are comfortable, you can try that. I am going to cover both.
Okay, and in real time, this Web IDE, is it require any
in real time? Yeah, in real time, what happens is whichever tool you are comfortable, you can choose that. But in our course, I'll make sure that you are comfortable on both the things.
Okay, those are my questions, and thank you very much for answering those things.
Okay, thank you. Then, what about others?
Yeah, Malaya here.
Okay.
Malaya, sorry, Vijay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I have a couple of questions. One is about the access to the system. Can we do it by standalone? If I have Eclipse on my system, can I do it?
Yes, why not? We are going to provide the procedure for doing all those things. We are going to provide server access. We are going to provide online server access for our data services, and for UI5 Fiori, you can install Eclipse and you can develop.
Okay, in case of any problems, the troubleshooting also, you can extend your
Definitely, I'll be guiding you. There won't be any problem, so I'll be guiding you if you face any problem.
Okay, that's the first question. And second one, do you have any other batch other than this 1 hour every night? Do you have any other batch?
No, we don't have. This is the only new batch we have, and this is the only time we generally prefer for online, because most of the people will come from their companies by 9 o'clock. So that's the reason why we planned at this timing.
It's not online. If it is a classroom in Hyderabad.
If it is classroom, then you can attend from Monday onwards. Sorry, you can attend from tomorrow onwards. If it is a classroom, you can attend tomorrow from 7 a.m.
How long is it? Like 1 hour sessions or?
Yeah, it will be one hour 15 minutes. It depends on the concept also.
You don't have any weekend batches, do you?
No, at present we don't have, but we'll let you know if there is any.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Yeah, what about others? Lohit, Ajit, Anil, you have any doubts?
Vijay, Lohit here.
Yeah.
I have a couple of questions for you. Okay, first one is you told that SAP NetWeaver, right? It will understand the XML format and the JSON format. Okay.
Yeah.
So are we going to define it anywhere in the system, like this is the
We are
format, or
going
how I
to,
will come to know?
yes, we are in our front end part, while designing our screens in front end part, we will provide true or false. Depending upon that, it will handle the format. In Fiori also, we are going to use true or false to handle that. So based on the true and false value, the server will respond.
Okay, then the next question is, see, OData service and the BAPI. I see, what I understand is both are serving the same purpose, right? Sending and
Exactly.
receiving the data from the backend and front end. So what made SAP to develop OData service?
Exactly.
Why
So
not
that's a very,
BAPI?
yeah, it's a very good question. So let me answer in detail so that others can understand. Say for example, if you're giving a BAPI to .NET developer, for example, if you're giving BAPI to .NET developer, then .NET developer has to write, has to use a .NET connector, specifically here. But if you give a BAPI to like a Java developer, then what happens is a Java developer has to use a JCO connector here. Java developer need to use a JCO connector here. So that means when we are giving BAPI to different developers, they have to use different connectors. So that is a tedious process again here. And there is a lot of coding involved in that, in consuming the BAPI in the .NET or Java or any other technology. So what SAP has done is they've given a OData service. So this OData service in .NET, they don't require any connector. In Java, they don't require any connector here. In Java, in SAP UI5 also, they don't require any connector. And in Fiori, they don't require any connector. So directly they can consume according to their coding standards. They need not use a separate connector to access SAP data if you are consuming OData service. Are you getting my point? Lohit?
Yes, Vijay. Yes.
Are you able to understand the difference?
Yes, the only thing is the connectors are not required if you are using the OData service.
Exactly. So different connectors for different technologies are not required. One common platform, that is nothing but OData service platform here.
Okay, then how we will handle the exceptions in OData service if that is the case? Because BAPI has the written parameters, right? The written parameters
Yes,
will be there
OData
for
service
BAPI.
also will have. OData service also can send the message.
Okay.
There will be a message container. There will be a message container so that whatever messages you want to send it to front end, you can send it via message container, and in the front end they can consume that message and they can print on the screen.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vijay. Okay.
Then,
yeah, that's fine. Thank you, Vijay.
okay, what about others? Ajit, Tanmay, Gaurav, and Ivy?
Hi, Sunil here.
Yeah, Sunil. Okay, let me come back to you. Let me come to you. 1 second. Yeah, Sunil.
Yeah, thanks, Vijay. Your class was very informative.
Okay.
Now, regarding this reporting part, suppose we need to take some reports. Does it come in the front end part?
Yeah, reporting means screen designing comes in the front end, and the functionality, database functionalities will come at OData level.
Okay. Now, let's say I want to take a print of a certain report which I have designed. Let's say I have designed some through whatever application it is, front-end application, I have designed some report. I want to take a print of it. So that is a part of OData or from the front-end service?
Print option will come in the front end only.
Okay. It will just pull the data from OData.
Exactly.
Right?
After pulling the data, then we can have any print option or submit option or whatever. Okay, so OData is just to pull and send the data.
Okay.
So once data is in your hands, then we can have, we can display those records in a table, graph, or it can be used for print purpose or submit purpose, whatever.
Yeah. And one more thing, Vijay. You were talking about this HTML, CSS we'll be using. And since I don't have much exposure on these, you'll be giving us the detail of it, right?
In detail, yeah. In
I
detail,
mean,
I am going
the
to
detail
cover.
required in this for this OData or front end.
Yeah, what I can say is HTML, CSS scripting, I am going to cover in detail. Almost I'll be covering like 12 hours mainly on these three things. So that is more than enough to understand what is in HTML,
Okay.
what is in CSS, what is in scripting.
Okay, that is fine. That
That
sounds
is,
good.
yeah, okay. I'll be taking from scratch level, okay? Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's fine, Vijay. And
okay,
thanks. That is it from my side.
okay. Then what about
Vijay, Navin
others?
here.
Yeah, Navin?
Hello, Vijay.
Yeah, who is this? I could see some noise.
Yeah, this is Funny, Vijay. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, actually, my question was in which area, like, I would like to know whether this theory is used in the interface related areas. So we are discussing about the HANA,
It is
CRM.
like, yeah, it is like something like if you want to access or send the data via any device, a mobile or tablet or desktop, then this technology will play a vital role. Any device. So whatever SAP data you have, I want to perform irrespective of the device, then this technology can come into picture. Any device, desktop or tablet or mobile device.
And one more thing, how far? See, I learned WebDenPro from you,
okay.
And I am working on a small project in ABAP, and I'm looking to get a chance to work on WebDenPro projects in my company.
Okay.
But the thing is, I would like to go for a different technology. Why? Because in my company, WebDenPro projects are only less in number. It is not having. So, is this the right time for me to jump into Fiori to get a chance to in different project?
So I can say it all depends on it all depends on your company and the client. I can't say again your company will totally implement Fiori. I can't say that because it all depends on their company revenue. It all depends on the company standards, and it also depends on the technical skills in which that company has acquired. So I can't say by sitting here, I can't say that there will be very good enough projects in UI5 and Fiori. It is just a new technology. Companies are implementing, but I can't guarantee that your company and your client will implement this.
Okay, we just forgot about our company, but can we have good opportunities outside on
Definitely.
Fiori?
Outside in the sense outside India?
No, in outside market.
Yeah, outside, that means in India, definitely there will be several openings that will open up on these three core areas, OData, UI5 and Fiori. There is no doubt in that one.
Okay, Vijay.
Okay, yeah.
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 Then
Vijay, Navin here. Vijay,
Navin, yeah, you can speak now.
so within this Eclipse, are we going to write HTML, CSS scripting, or?
Yes, we are going to use we are going to use HTML syntaxes, scripting syntaxes, and CSS, and SAP UI5 specific syntaxes also we are going to use.
Okay, all will be within the Eclipse or SAP
Exactly.
web.
Everything will
Okay.
be within the tool.
Okay. And even it is also applicable to SAP Web IDE?
Of course, yes.
Okay. And Vijay, can you share yesterday's and today's notes as well? Because
Yeah,
I did not
I'll
receive.
share these files. I'll share these files by the end of tomorrow's class, because by tomorrow
Okay.
I'll get some clarity who is going to join, who is not going to join. So based on that, I'll send it. Don't worry.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah,
That's all.
just wait for
Thank you.
1 or 2 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vijay, Ajit is having a doubt. It seems, sorry, he is not able to unmute. So what he is asking is how the data will flow from backend and from front end to backend. Suppose if I want to save some data in the front end, right? How the data will be flowing?
That's what. It can be in
How the
two
data flow
formats,
will
I
happen?
told you. It can be in two ways. That's what I said, right? It can be XML flow or it can be like JSON.
Okay.
Your server will receive and send in those two formats only.
Okay. Okay, fine. Vijay. Okay.
Yeah.
Got the thing. Fine, thank you.
Yeah. Then, okay, then what about Ash?
Vijay, I have a query. The scripting language which will be used will be JavaScript or anything else?
It looks like JavaScript, but we have SAP UI5 scripting syntaxes also. There will be some special syntaxes comes into picture along with similar to JavaScripting. It's similar but not exactly same.
So maximum of the validation will be taken care in the front end itself, or
Exactly. Yes. In the front end, it will happen. 85% validations will happen in the front end only.
also about the CSS, like there are many already pre-developed CSS style sheets available, so we can download that and we can use it in the Eclipse tool and we can proceed further in the project.
Exactly, why not? You can use it. So all CSS, whatever you have, if there is a specific CSS which you want to use for your project, then you provide that CSS properties in one file and that file can be used in our project as well.
Okay, yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Vijay?
Yeah, hi Vijay, Gaurav here.
Yeah, Gaurav.
Yeah, I just wanted to know what are the basic configuration or setup which is required to set up to get this UI5 and Fiori run on our
So
machines.
we should have, like, if you want, as of now, there is some disturbance, let me, okay. So as of now, what we are going to do is we are going to provide online server access so that you can practice on ECC 6.0 and that is with EHP 7, okay. And then I'll tell you in the coming classes, I'll be telling how to install Eclipse with SAP UI5 plugins. And then I'll be telling you how to install WebID also. So this is the three options which we are going to use mainly. Gaurav, are you getting my point?
Yeah, you know, I was asking in with respect to client, if we have like SAP ECC6 EHP installed, so what all other things I need to ask to client to install?
EHP7 will get you all those Fiori related standard applications as well.
Okay, so is it Eclipse and other SAP UI5 plugins required, or is EPH7 is enough?
These are general things. This is not related to server. Eclipse is a tool. It's not related to server. WebID is a tool, not related to server. Server point of view, you should have EHP7 on top of ECC 6.0.
All other things we need to get it.
Other things are just like tools you can install.
No, so whether those are tools, but do we need to have license for this, or how much it will cost? If we have to.
I don't think so. Eclipse is an open source tool. Eclipse is an open source tool, and WebID also you can install locally. So there need not be any license for these two tools.
Okay, no other expenses as per the client.
As far as development is concerned, yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. ESP7 will play a vital role with ECC 6.0. Then
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi Vijay.
Yeah, hello. Who is this?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes. Okay, let me come to, yeah, Abhijit. Hello?
Hello. Yes,
Yeah,
can you hear me, Vijay?
Yes.
Yeah, like I have one question. Like I want to know how good is SAP UI5 when compared with AngularJS and EXTJS?
AngularJS and all those things doesn't have all the supportable screen elements. That's a problem here. In UI5, we have all screen elements which fits for SAP business scenarios.
Okay. So this SAP UI5 is only suitable for the business suite like CRM, SRM, that sorts.
Exactly. So keeping in that mind, They have developed all these screen elements. And along with that, it also has all internet features. Not only, you can see, let me open that as of now, you can see, let me type UI5, you can see there are several controls here. So all these controls has, you can see these are all controls. All these controls are suitable for SAP standards as well as internet features. You can see them.
Like, can I build a single page application where like has AngularJS has a option like we can build single page applications? Do we have like something like that we can build a single page application using SAP UI5?
Exactly, yes, why not?
Can you give me any single? Can you give me any single application that has been built like that's a single page application in SAP UI5? Can you just show me one demo?
So single page application means it can be like any of your, all Fiori standard applications are like maximum 1, 2, 3, 4 screens only. When I go for Fiori, I'll show you all those screens. They are like maximum 1, 2, 3 and 4 maximum. So within the 4 screens, all the Fiori applications are built. So it need not be like, there need not be any specific scenario. Your leave request scenario has maximum like 3 screens, and purchase order approval screen has 2 options only, 2 screens. Are you getting my point? So it need not be like only one screen related application. It can be 1, 2, 3 or 4. All Fiori applications are less than 4 only.
Okay. So then I just want to know like how powerful is it when compared to AngularJS and EXTJS? I know like even I think EXTJS has few controls like as in SAP UI5. There are controls in EXTJS also, but how powerful is it? Like we can build a robust application using AngularJS and EXTJS, but in SAP UI5 is it possible as same extent as we do in AngularJS and EXTJS? Is it possible?
Yes, why not? We can include those things also inside this UI5. All the features we can include here.
Okay. And one more thing, my doubt is like we are using NetWeaver gateway and like backend we are getting we are fetching the data from an RFC, right?
Yeah. Not only RFC, it can be anything.
I mean, it will be basically it will be a SAP business suite where we will be fetching the data from.
Yeah.
But instead of that, can we have something like Oracle database?
Yes, exactly. In that case, we can use an OData external service.
Okay, like how will be the connection if we are using a Oracle database, and how will be the like for Oracle database we'll be using SQL programming language. Similarly, like if we are using SAP UI5 as a front-end scripting language, and if you want to connect it to the Oracle database, right? Like, is it possible in SAP UI5? Can you connect to the Oracle database and query the database and fetch the data from there?
It is possible. The only thing is you have to ask the concerned person. You have to ask the concerned person to develop external service. We are not going to develop external service. You have to ask the external, you have to ask the concerned person to develop external service connecting to Oracle, and that external service we can consume in UI5.
Okay.
By using OData model concept. First, make sure that OData external service is developed. Okay. And that OData external service connects to Oracle database or whatever. Okay. And that external service we are going to consume from UI5. So that scenario I'll be covering.
Okay, fine. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Then what about others?
Hi, Vijay.
Yeah, Venkat.
Yeah, one question. Actually, as you said, like we can, you are suggesting some people that we can go, I mean, either OData or SAP UI5 or Fiori. So in real time, how is the consultant responsibilities? Like it can be individually, like only limited to Fiori and UI5, and some people are limited to only for OData. Is that like that, or is that everyone has to know all these three?
As of now, companies are asking combination of all these three things in one profile. Companies are asking combination of these three things in a single profile.
Okay, so we have to know all these things. I mean,
yes. You may be developing only UI5 part, but you should have knowledge on OData as well, because you will be understanding how database operations will happen.
Okay.
Are you getting my point? So the roles and responsibilities in the company may depend, but in a single profile, they're asking combination of all these three things. You can also check it in Naukri's website.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, students. So what I'll do is I'll stop for today, and in the coming classes, we'll discuss some more concepts. Okay. And Saral Desai, you can do that. We can call a ECC transaction, and we can call those transaction codes inside a Fiori, but it is not recommended. We can do that, but not recommended. Saral Desai.
Okay, Vijay. Thanks.
Yeah. Then, okay.
Hello?
Yeah, Jain.
Yeah, Vijay, this is Gaurav actually. I have a question regarding version management. Like in Java Web Pro, we have NWDI server for version management.
Here we have GIT hub.
Okay.
We have GIT that can be used for version management.
GIT hub. Okay, it's like a SAP tool, or it's something.
It is part of SAP only. It is included within WebID.
Okay, GitHub. Okay.
Yeah.
But for Eclipse, do we have?
For Eclipse also we have, but I think we need to install some plugins for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Vijay, this is Satya. I have a question. Like UI5, they are calling as open source. What else we can do? What are the advantages? Like why they are calling as open source?
Are you present yesterday?
Yeah.
So in yesterday's class, I told you, right? So as a SAP UI5, we can connect to any system if the service is developed in terms of OData.
No, I'm asking UI5 libraries itself is open source. They're saying, right? We can read
Open source means anyone without any license, you can develop these things. But in case of ABAP, it is not like that, right?
Okay.
Open source means anyone, any company without any license for screen designing, you can use those UI5 libraries.
Okay. Open source means we cannot, we should able to read the standard packages as well, right? Usually.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we can also apply those open source libraries, customize the standard screens as well.
You to send